Hello, welcome to Futbol the Europa podcast, episode 8. Today, alongside me is Sean. Hello, Sean, how are you?
Hi Bliss, I'm good.
Yep, and today we will talk about your favorite topics of the week, which is the Champions League week, a crazy week for football and for neutral fans, especially, and not so much for Manchester United fans like Sean. So, we'll talk about Liverpool versus Barcelona to start with. So, what are your thoughts about that, Sean?
That was it. It was an amazing match. I'll put myself as a sort of mutual fan watching it since as a football fan, really. I mean, it was a crazily awesome match. I'll be eating my words if I had been on episode 7 because I did not expect to see Liverpool beat Barca. But to be fair, I did say before as well. This is the season. This is a Champions League season where first leg results don't matter, and it's been proven again. And it's just crazy to see that Liverpool were able to exploit Barca's defense as well. That they were able to cut through with just speed and that cheeky corner. I mean, what else can I say?
Yeah, and it completely puts that perspective that first legs don't really matter much. Like, you have to do well in both the legs, and unlike in league that you are losing 2 points or you're losing 3 points, that's not the case over here. If you lose the first leg, that doesn't matter. You can totally redeem it in the next leg. And do you think that Barcelona were somewhat shy of playing their style, and somewhat Liverpool were more confident and more dominant, and Barca were a little bit of scared? Like before, the psyche had the deja vu of the Roma away leg.
I think, yeah, definitely. I think Barca went in thinking they were comfortable, and I think that already posed a problem in terms of psyche, like you said, and as well as just any team going to end. Liverpool are. I'm sucks to admit, but Liverpool have been a good team in recent years, especially with Jurgen Klopp and the things he's been doing. And any team going to Anfield should always be on their guard. And just seeing a big team like Barcelona get whooped 4-0 by Liverpool goes to show that they were complacent in thinking that they had 3-0 lead and they were just gonna go defend probably for a 0-0 draw. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and you probably expected Liverpool to win, but you never expected Barca to lose, like, without scoring also. The manner in they lost, that wasn't very Barcelona type, because you expect more from Barcelona, at least one goal, at least a bit of more effort, or maybe the way they conceded the last goal. You don't expect teams like Barcelona to concede those type of goals. Like, you have to commend Liverpool for that, for the professionalism and for the minute detail which they have paid attention to. Because I was reading somewhere, it said that Liverpool had noted it down that Barcelona players are very shaky and very unmotivated and very grumpy and stuff when there is a free kick or a corner, and they are not organized at all. They are not paying attention. And I was also listening to Jose Mourinho right now, and he was talking about the ball boy. He said, I was also a ball boy once, and we used to know that which player would take which type of corner, and we used to know that where to position the ball on the semicircle so that the player doesn't have to adjust it and the time is saved. So you can say that Liverpool worked on that aspect as well, and the players read the situation very well, and they did what they did, and it shouldn't come as a surprise then, because clearly they were more prepared for the comeback. Clearly they had the more ambition to reach the final, and maybe Barcelona were just too scared in every perspective. So, moving on to the Spurs versus Ajax game, which was a shocker of a game. So, what are your thoughts about that game?
Look for, I mean, for what Spurs did, it's just, I mean, Lucas Moura was completely on fault. He was unplayable on that night. I mean, scoring a hat trick, and especially in the last minute as well, is how much added time was there? But I was assume it's a last minute though. And
Last second, to be very honest, it was like 95th minute precisely, and after that, it was
yeah,
just full time. Yep.
yeah, I don't, can't remember the numbers, but yeah, last second. I wasn't really paying attention. I was wowed by the scoreline. Let's be honest. But yeah, Ajax threw it away. I mean, they were playing at home as well. It's the same. It's completely the same as it's Barcelona, where Ajax was sitting comfortable. They had a proper one away goal, and they didn't have to do much. I mean, they scored first as well in 5 minutes, in 35 minutes as well with Hakim, and just, I mean, to switch off like that with a 3-0 lead again, right? It's I wouldn't even put it down to just like you have young players. I wouldn't even put it down to that. It's just complete and utter just complacency again. Barcelona did that. Ajax did it. I mean, yeah, first legs ties don't matter.
Yeah, and it is interesting that uh, Tottenham only had like 40 minutes, or the second half only, to turn everything around in their favor, and the way they did it, it was phenomenal. And not to forget the number of times they were saved by the bar, and some of the chances were just for the both sides actually. To be fair, even Ajax had a lot of chances which were very very close. And to be honest, like, this is the stage when you get to realize that maturity and experience does play a role. Like, Ajax weren't really that pragmatic with their approach after the first half. They were more like, okay, we will just continue making triangles, and we will continue doing that even if it's not working, even if it's they are putting us down on the counter attacks and we are on the verge of losing. They were still not uh, thinking for thinking about more pragmatic approach to the game. Like, there was no proper defense line. Like, there was, but they were still on to pressing, and they were still on to maybe getting one more goal, rather than saying, okay, maybe the temperament has changed and they are benefiting if we press forward. They are sitting back and then they are countering us. So maybe what we can do is we can let them have control of the ball, and maybe we can organize ourselves to the defense, and maybe let the temperament change for 10-15 minutes and see how it goes, rather than just risking everything out there. And in the last moment, you could see that how Lucas Moura just like, hats off to Lucas Moura, who showed phenomenal composure to score that type of goal. But Ajax are more to the fault. Like, they didn't do much enough to not to concede many goals. And you cannot expect to win Champions League or any other league by implementing that kind of style and by implementing that kind of attitude, I would say. So, do you have anything to talk about it? Like, any comments to add?
No, not really. I mean, how this Champions League has been. Just to wrap it up, this Champions League has been insane. To put it mildly, it has been insane. With, I think, as just as a pure soccer fan, a football fan, um, and regardless of like me being a Manchester United fan or not, a supporter, um, it's just been amazing to watch. I mean, to just be able to watch this such amazing soccer, regardless of, I mean, having stars like Messi and Ronaldo in the age of having stars like Messi and Ronaldo, but and not having to focus on them, just watching everyone be amazing with the youth from Ajax and what Tottenham did to come back from it. Yeah, I'm just happy to be here for the ride.
Yeah, and not to forget that PSG sold Lucas Moura because they wanted Neymar to win the Champions League, and look who's in the Champions League final right now. And also the case with Philippe Coutinho, who left Liverpool to be the winner of Champions League, and Liverpool have been in Champions League finals twice since he left. And yeah, that's the fun part of the game. So should we move on to the Europa League games now? So I would like to talk about Arsenal versus Valencia before we talk about the other game, and it was a crazy game. Uh, Aubameyang just showed that he deserves more recognition, and maybe he's into the debate of one of the best players in Premier League also. Maybe not this season, but definitely in the upcoming season he will be up there.
Look, when Arsenal bought Aubameyang from Dortmund, I was just surprised he was okay with moving from Dortmund. I mean, he was amazing in Dortmund as well. And the move came off as a surprise, regardless of the rumors and everything, because I didn't expect someone of such a caliber to go to Arsenal. So, just being honest with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, I understand.
Arsenal is a good team, but I just
Of course, you when he was talking about joining Real Madrid and then he goes and join Arsenal. then,
exactly.
It's a lot of difference. Yeah.
Yeah, when there's talk of him joining Real Madrid and then all of a sudden drop, not really dropping, but ending up in Arsenal instead, it just came as a shock. But regardless of whichever team, he is an amazing player. I mean, his speed and his ability to just score goals, and I think it goes to show that. And the rumor news is that they want to sign both Lacazette and Aubameyang on an amazing long-term deal. I think it's £250,000 a week. It's crazy, and I mean Lacazette is starting to show his quality as well. I think. Which year was he signing in again?
I'll just have to check it up. And
Yeah,
just
I mean, I think the last couple of years, but he did start off shaky as well. But I think he's starting to show his quality of why Arsenal did buy him in the first place. And Aubameyang just hit the ground running. So having two strikers in front with such deadly accuracy, it reminds me of just Andy Cole and Dwight York.
yeah, he came in 2017.
2017, yeah. So I think he was a bit of a struggle initially, but now in this season, I mean, yeah, seeing a two striker system again, from coming from Man U with Dwight York and Andy Cole, and then seeing this again, it just brings back memories and goes to show that Arsenal would be a team to reckon with in both the EPL and in Europe, and they've gone to show with playing against Valencia. I mean, scoring. Let me do the math.
4 goals.
Yeah, the first leg is 3-1 at home.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
and then
4-1 or something like
then
that.
2-4 at
2-4,
Valencia.
yeah.
I mean, it goes to show
Yeah.
Arsenal are coming back from, when was their last win again? 2004. That was the last win, right?
Yeah.
Are coming back as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, EPL is going to be really exciting next season.
It will be. And also that Unai Emery has won Europa League like 3 times in a row with Sevilla before.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
He's the coach that did the three-peat with Sevilla. I mean,
Yeah, it was
hats
an
off to
amazing
him for doing that. It was out. I mean, I didn't follow Europa League that much back then until mainly so when
Sevilla beat
you won
Liverpool.
it. So if I'm being honest, I didn't follow it that much compared to Champions
Yeah.
League. But I did keep track of who won, and finding out Sevilla won it 3 times. Emery is a good coach as well. It does take a certain caliber to get a 3-peat of Sevilla to actually coach, to go and coach actually PSG, regardless of whatever the league, to control those players of those statuses. It goes to show that Emery does have the caliber as well.
Yeah, and even at PSG he lost to Real Madrid, which was a phenomenal side in those days with Ronaldo and stuff. So in all fairness, it wasn't really a bad. It wasn't a demerit on his resume at all, and maybe he should have been the charge of PSG. But yeah, it happens.
It goes to show how good Real Madrid was to beat PSG.
Yeah, actually, it's more like that. PSG weren't really a team. It was like big names all playing together.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's
Like
it
PSG
still
was
is.
more dangerous in the previous seasons before they bought Neymar and Mbappe. Like in the Abramovich days,
Yeah.
it was more like a team, and I remember Real Madrid played against them in
I,
the group stage, and it was
yeah.
a tough match.
Yeah. Them buying Neymar was a statement. I think Mbappe is still alright in terms of team play, but them buying Neymar is just putting a big star onto it. Them, yeah.
Everything about Neymar has been bad news, like punching the fans, missing matches. While he's injured, he's dancing around in his home in Brazil. Like,
I ever since the way Neymar left Barca, I thought he was a good player. I was a fan of him, but more and more I'm starting to realize, it's good that he left Barca and they've got Dembele with Messi and Suarez.
Yeah. He kind of resembles Ronaldinho in his lifestyle and stuff, because Ronaldinho was also a superstar kind of player. He could do tricks and stuff, but he would like miss trainings and ask clubs not to ask him to come to trainings and stuff, and then
But, I mean, it shows some. I mean, Ronaldinho.
And both of them played in PSG and Barcelona.
But
both of them are Brazilians.
Both of them are Brazilians, but here's the thing: Ronaldinho is a better footballer than Neymar. So
yeah, no doubt about that. No doubt about that.
I mean, did Ronaldo punch a fan?
No, it's pretty obvious that Neymar is not at the level of Ronaldinho, and maybe he will never reach that level until and unless he maybe makes Brazil win the World Cup or something, or PSG the Champions League. I don't know. So
Chelsea match.
Yeah, Chelsea match.
Yeah.
It was an interesting match and went on to penalties. I didn't expect that to happen.
I thought Chelsea would have won it as in straight out. I didn't really keep track of that match compared to the Valencia Arsenal one. If I'm being honest, I just expected Chelsea to win at home, but apparently Sarri had other ideas.
Yeah, but did you see that Hazard assist and the Jovic goal? Like, they were both phenomenal. Like,
those were good goals. I did spot the highlights, but
yeah,
I wasn't really.
But Hazard's like that through pass or the key pass and the assist, like it was everything.
Hazard is a brilliant individual player, and I really do hope he heads to Madrid because I think he deserves better as a player. And just when I saw the penalty results, I was just like, but I saw the highlights for the goal, and it was just
crazy.
Hazard is a brilliant player.
Very, very much.
I mean, it could have gone either way since it went to penalties, but at the end of the day, I'm just keen for the finals just to see an absolute end of full English finals. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and what I was thinking about while I was watching that match, I thought that Kepa is quite underrated right now, and maybe he deserves a start in the Spanish national team ahead of De Gea.
Because with his current form, I would say so. I think De Gea is just meeting some sort of mental block right now that he initially had at his start. I think it's coupled with the fact that he doesn't have solid defenders in front of him. Like, I don't know, having Phil Jones in front of you does not inspire confidence, if I'm being honest. Victor Lindelof is a brilliant defender, though. I hope we do get to keep him for a long time. But all in all, yes, Kepa is a good player in form right now for the Spanish team, but his attitude to not listening to Sarri, I think it speaks a certain volume of that player. And I mean, it's one thing to be passionate and want to keep playing. It's another thing to just show an on-pitch tantrum to not want to come off.
Yeah, but it was later cleared out by both of them that Sarri thought that he was injured, but he was not and stuff.
They cleared it up, but it's
kind of a blot on his career.
They can say one thing, but you know what happens. But I would take Sarri's excuse to think that he was injured. But I mean, if your manager asks you to come off, you should do it without question.
Yeah, I agree with that. But anyhow, his performances have been really good, and that's what my point is right now. And also talking about Jovic, he was quite a stunning player. Like, speaking from Real Madrid's perspective, it's a pretty good match for them. Like, Jovic scored, Hazard assists, and it sounds like Real Madrid's normal match for the next season. So we'll move on to your favorite topic, which is the best league in the world.
Look, it's debatable. Honestly, it's debatable. But I don't know how would you want to. That I wouldn't say there is a best. Okay, I would say it in terms of like how would you want to rate best anyway.
Yeah, that's what my first criteria will be like. How do you see the league? If
Yeah.
you're seeing it in the terms of marketing, broadcasting, language, time
Yeah.
zones, timings, then EPL is far more better. And
Yeah, EPL is the straight up winner in terms of those
yeah,
criteria, and
exactly. There is not even a debate about that.
yeah,
But if you're talking about the terms of like quality of football and
quality.
stuff, then I think La Liga has an upper hand.
That uh, I would agree on certain points. The thing is, I feel that both La Liga and EPL stand equal to one another. They're both
Yeah.
phenomenal leagues,
Mm-hmm.
and like yeah, we can. The reason why most people say, and I would it would slip sometimes when I would say, oh, EPL is the best league. It's because it's all the better marketing, and just because I I support an English club, but overall, why I feel that EPL is a more competitive league is because you have you have teams like Wolves coming in, and who's in eighth right now, Watford as well, right? You have teams like that. Even the bottom of the table teams, they would still put up a fight. Whereas I feel that going to La Liga, at a certain threshold, all right, the teams you know you're guaranteed to win against certain teams, right? Whereas in terms of EPL, from 1 to 20, all it you never know. That's what I feel. That's what it just EPL out for me. It's just that whichever match is happening, you never know what might happen
Yeah.
compared to say if I was watching a La Liga match. That's what I feel. Apart from that, though, um, apart from that, to both of them, I'll put them on equal footing. That's just a small eke that would put me in favor of EPL over La Liga, but I love both leagues equally.
Yep.
That's the way I'll put it.
Yeah, I get your point, but I will slightly disagree with you because I think La Liga also has its own share of excitement, and teams like Getafe are into top four,
No,
which
yeah,
is
I
yeah,
agree. It has its excitement. It's
yeah,
just that small eke for me.
yeah. That's where I think the marketing and broadcasting factor comes in. Like these teams are not very well known outside their own small sphere. Like people like me who follow La Liga very passionately, or people in Spain would know about it, but others like regular football fans, or maybe the ones who only follow the big teams, or are just newspaper readers, they won't really get to know much about La Liga teams, or even for Italian teams or German teams, they won't know much about that because it's not into the news. Like Barcelona lost 4-0 to Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo is battling relegation right now. In the past seasons, they have lost 4-0 to them, and uh, it would be news if Manchester United lose 4-0 to Queen's Park Rangers. But
Yeah, that would be news
that
actually.
that will be news. But Barcelona losing to Celta Vigo 4-0, that might not be the news. So yeah, I agree that there are a lot of interesting games in EPL and stuff, but I just think that there's the equal amount of share of excitement in La Liga as well, but uh, that's not broadcasted that much.
Yeah, I think it comes to marketing as well. I wouldn't. I mean, football is such an amazing game because I mean you have winners like the Spurs game, and that's what makes it special. And I do agree, it does. La Liga does have its excitement with that 4-0 game, but yeah, just I mean it's all football matches. There will be exciting times in the league, but I just feel that personally, I do keep track of La Liga games because I do follow Barcelona and Real Madrid to a lesser extent compared to all the EPL teams, and I do watch the highlights. I do see the ladders, but I just feel that I don't know. There's a slight more um uh there's a bit more randomness. There's a bit more chaos when it comes to EPL, and that's what makes it
Yeah,
more football in that regard.
yeah, I
But
get it.
um Yeah, but there are crazy moments in La Liga as well. No,
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
denying that.
That's
I
true.
just feel that, yeah, it's
In other
yeah,
terms,
it could be me being skewed by the marketing.
no,
Could
no,
be,
no.
yeah,
You are totally
yeah,
right about that.
yeah.
And what I think is that ignore this season, because this season isn't really the best season to put an example for La Liga teams. But in general, if you put Real Madrid, Barcelona, or Atletico Madrid for that example into EPL, so I think it will become a superiority race over there also, because these teams are probably one of the best teams in the world. Like, you can see that in Europe, and the number of times they have been in the finals of Champions League, Europa League, and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
against the
that
English
is a
teams
fair
and stuff.
point. Yeah.
So maybe EPL teams are more leveled against each other,
Mm-hmm,
whereas in La Liga there are two or three teams which are quite one of the best in the world. But yeah, I agree that this season they are all terrible. But yeah, it is what it is. And but in a normal season, in a regular season for them, when they're not into transitions and stuff,
yeah,
they're one of the best teams in the world,
Yeah,
and
they
they
are.
will dominate in any league, whichever the league they go in, because these are the teams which you will see every year in at least one of them will be in semi-finals.
yeah.
Like this time it was Barcelona. Last time it was, I guess, Atletico. Atletico
Yeah,
didn't.
Atletico, I think I can't
Yeah,
remember.
but Real won the Champions
I
League.
mean,
But
yeah.
yeah,
I think the case in point is two amazing leagues, and it's just a slightly more level playing field and a hint of chaos to it that makes me prefer it.
Yep.
But overall, I mean, to all the fans, I mean, we all personally, I love both La Liga
Yeah.
and EPL equally, and they do have their own strong suits to it.
Yeah.
But I think we can agree. I think
We should rather enjoy the
everyone's
game.
bored of League One. I think at the
League
end of
One
the day.
is like, if you want to see the style of play and the elegance of football and the
for the
pace
past-
and
No offense
of
to
stuff.
any of the French
Yeah.
teams,
No,
but
no, no,
in terms
no.
of League One,
like they are phenomenal teams.
but
And
they
yeah,
are.
but
I mean, with Monaco and everything, but
yep.
I mean with PSG,
Leon,
winning,
Martial, like PSG, every like they are phenomenal teams. But
with
to be
PSG
very honest,
winning for the past
yeah.
6 years. I mean, yeah,
It's similar
if
to
I
the
were to follow
Italian
League
league.
One, I would be bored.
Yeah, it will be, because it's quite similar to Italian league, which is, I agree that it's not the best league to watch because it's not that
Well,
exciting.
No, Italian teams are more exciting
Yeah.
to watch than I would say for now compared to League One.
Obviously, but yeah, I'm just talking in general terms. And
Yeah.
Italian league is like phenomenal league. It's a great league, but you kind of know that AC Milan will be at fourth, fifth, sixth position.
Mhm.
It's quite predictable.
Yeah. that
Then
is
you know
true.
Inter Milan, it will be fighting for third or fourth spot or the
Mhm.
Champions League spot, and then you know Juventus will obviously be the winner, and Napoli or Roma will kind
Yeah,
of
somehow.
will be fighting for the Champions League spot or the Europa League spot, and it's quite predictable. Like you can almost lay out that okay, these will be the positions of each
Yeah.
team.
I think that's what makes EPL so exciting for me personally.
Yeah.
And I think case in point will be Leicester winning the league.
Yeah,
I
and
think
that was a phenomenal stuff. And
yeah, I think that would. I think a lot of other people would bring Leicester winning the league into an not argument, but a discussion like we're having.
Yep.
But I think that
But that kinds of
that point
season,
has
like
been-
it happens in La Liga also, when Valencia wins the league, or when Sevilla
Yeah, I
or
think-
Atletico won the league in 2013. So
yeah. But I think that point has been brought up too many times.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really want to bring it up
Yep.
to the discussion.
But Leicester is like once in a lifetime miracle, and we should just
Yeah.
cherish
We
it
do-
rather
we-
than
yeah.
For every fan, even if
To
you're a
be
La Liga
glad,
fan, you should
yeah.
be paying your respect for that.
I think to show to the outside of football, well, the point of why we love football itself is, I think, case in point will be showing the Leicester season and as a sporting miracle. But overall, I mean,
Yeah,
football is football, and that's why we love it.
we should enjoy it. Yeah, that's
and
it.
I'm just glad to be along for the ride for that season for Leicester. I'm glad to be along for the ride for this season for Champions League. That's what it is. I mean, it is a
Yeah.
beautiful game.
Yeah, it is. And so we should move on to another topic, and I think we should talk about, like, you see how the narrative was like Cruyff's philosophy of football. It was ruling the world. Before, like, they was talking about like there's a chance of 75% of semi-finalists will be Cruyff's philosophy teams and stuff, like Pep Guardiola with City, Ajax, and then Barcelona. But all of a sudden it's all gone. It's all vanished. All of the Crieff's dream teams and the pupils of Crieff's philosophy, it's all vanished. Like, what's your take on that?
Um, I think philosophy in terms of that comes and goes. I mean, look at the way for a moment there, in terms of that, um, because of Cruyff's his philosophy, I think that stuck around a little bit longer. But I think it's sort of like trending. It's sort of like what's trending now, and like come things that come and go. Like a three man central defense was popular for a moment with wing backs in EPL. So I mean, things come and go. The philosophy stayed around longer than what you tend to see in terms of like strategy and everything. But eventually, I tell you what, it'll come back. Someone's gonna pick it up again and employ it and use it. Doesn't have to be his direct like students or whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, end of the day, right? I mean, look at Arsenal in point. They are bringing back a two striker instead of doing that wing, having players on the wings and crossing in. You know, different sort of tactics. So it's what ebbs and flows, what comes and goes in terms of current trends, and it goes to show what Cruyff has done with his philosophy, that it was able to stay that long instead of being like a trend for like 2 to 3 years of like say having three central defenders or currently with two strike or whatever it is, you know what I mean. And it goes to show that he has it goes to show that it's stuck around, that it was able to be around for so long instead of being so. But I'm pretty certain it will come back eventually, where people will be like,
Yeah, for me, philosophy is more like anything which gets you win and you follow it more regularly. That's what philosophy is. That's pretty much it. Like, if I come, like, I don't know why Jose Mourinho's style of play is called anti-football and stuff, because that's a philosophy of its own.
It's a philosophy of just doing what you need to win.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's more pragmatic philosophy, and it's
I
it's
feel
his
the fans
philosophy.
are just bored from seeing it.
Yeah, I can understand that, but
You do what you must, basically.
you do what you must, and that's how you win the matches and win the leagues. And his record says it. Like, I understand that players nowadays are too fragile to agree with the coach in everything and give their lives for it, and they have their own opinions and they want to be more liberated on the field rather than being tied by particular roles. And that's a problem not only in one particular club but in every club, like even Madrid, in Barcelona,
Yeah, exactly. I
in
think
everything. Like,
the
no
marketing
play.
and sponsorships and all those sort of things are starting because they're
Yep.
becoming individual stars as
Yeah,
well.
yeah. So they are like, okay, if I take a shoot from half a line and maybe it will go in and I'm in the newspapers next day, that's more important than making a vertical pass or making an interception right now, which I need to. Like, I remember.
I think. Sorry to cut you in for that. I think I brought the point up, Kate, a couple of weeks ago. The player has to remember that without the other 10 players, they're not going to be a team.
Yep.
So then a single player is never bigger than a team.
Yep. So I was just talking about, like, in Barcelona, you would see Piqué going up to the attack, which Pep Guardiola would never allow, because there had to be certain formation which had to be followed, and you couldn't really go out of that. Like, you had to be in that. So that kind of freedom. Now, I don't know what happens after achieving so much. Like, you get the feeling that, okay, I am bigger than that. I have the opportunity and I'm more opinionated and stuff. But I don't know what happens. But players kind of want themselves to be liberated from the responsibilities they have got by their managers, and it even happens in Real Madrid. And even in the recent example, I recall that Pep Guardiola was asking company not to shoot, but he shot and he won the match, and it worked out for them. But if it didn't, then we could have seen some repercussions of it.
I think sometimes on the field, if the player has the gut feeling. I mean, there was this one free kick I remember. Ashley Young just felt it and he took the kick and
Yeah.
it went in. Same thing for company. I think in that moment, right? even the manager can't control like
Yeah,
situations that happen in that moment.
of course.
And I think company just felt good about I mean, it was a fantastic goal, if I'm being honest.
It was.
But I think how do I put it? No, the manager's right. You know, keep people in those in give people those roles, and as a player, you should follow those roles. But it is football, and you have to be flexible anyway. You have to adjust to what your opponent is doing, and in that moment, if you think that what's right, if you and you make a mistake, you thought what was right, and you make a mistake, you own up to it. That's fine.
Yeah.
But and I think company, if he had missed or if they had conceded a goal from that, I think he would have owned up to the fact that yes, I went up to shoot and we got counter attacked and I was in a position. He would have owned up to it. Whereas I think certain other players, I think probably Neymar comes to mind for some reason.
Yeah.
Like if he had committed a mistake or in that moment thought, yeah, he wouldn't have owned up to it. I think that's what makes the difference for me in that regard. That yeah, they can go ahead, try. PK can go up as a defender once in a while, you know, mix it up a bit, because if you have a strategy, you should follow it by what the manager says. But as a footballer, if you think that the opponent has caught on going up to attack once in a while, change it up a bit, can always help. So, and PK, I mean, he's by no means, I think he's a terrific defender, but he does have attacking flair to him as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I think every player in Barca has an attacking flair.
Yeah,
anyway, so.
I get it. But yeah, that my point is that sometimes you just have to give your life and soul for the manager and do exactly what he says,
Yeah,
and then you can get results like Porto winning Champions League or Inter Milan winning a treble.
Yeah, you definitely should. I mean, the player-manager relationship that comes to mind, it's Zlatan and Mourinho.
Mourinho, yeah.
How Zlatan just gives everything for Mourinho.
Even
And-
Eto'o, like Eto'o had another manager later on who asked him to play on the wing, and he said, "Sorry, I had to only do that for Mourinho, not for you." So, it's a phenomenal thing which just doesn't come to mind most often, but it is very important. And coming back to the point of to philosophy versus pragmatism and stuff, I think philosophy is what gets you wins, and if you follow it regularly over the years, maybe you don't get excited by it, but you get the results, and that helps you win titles and stuff. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I think teams, especially with the money involved and like ownership, owners and everything of the teams. Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, you're right. You do start seeing a fade of philosophy as well, because like looking, I'm sorry to the fans having to keep drawing from Man United, but that's what I remember the most. Just I have a feeling that if Van Gaal had been given more time, I'm not sure whether you agree, to implement his own philosophy, bring in the players that would be more malleable. I mean, look at the way he was. If Di Maria was bought for the marketing, I don't think he was bought for Van Gaal himself. And I feel that if Van Gaal had been given more time, he could implement his philosophy to it. That's one thing that comes to mind, and I think you're right about that.
Yeah. Talking about Van Gaal in United, I guess United fans shouldn't forget that Sir Alex Ferguson in his first few years couldn't do much.
Exactly, yeah.
But he was given the time. So my thing is that
and Solskjaer should be given the time as well.
Yeah, exactly. Any coach who should
who are proven,
or even not proven, like
Solskjaer, but as in
it's just like at
ish.
least sometimes shall be allowed to the coach. Like you cannot expect them to win each and every game from the day they start.
Well, I mean, up until he lost to PSG, he did win every game. For Solskjaer, but just to make that joke. But yeah, I mean, every team should, every manager of the team should be given substantial time, not to be immediately kicked out just the moment they make a mistake. I think fans are getting very knee jerky with managers nowadays and owners as well.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to see sometimes longer serving managers. Yes, sometimes they do end up losing in quality.
But my point is, coming back to the experienced ones and the proven ones, like Pep Guardiola wasn't proven before he joined Barcelona. Zidane wasn't proven when he joined Real Madrid as a coach, and
Oh yeah, those unproven ones,
Yeah.
they should still be given time.
Yeah,
That's why I
yeah,
think.
that's all my point.
But-
Because if you can see a style of play being implemented or the coach is putting in an effort, maybe it isn't rendering results
Yeah.
right now, but you can see that he is building an empire. Like,
yeah, correct.
I was very much in favor of Lopetegui coaching Real Madrid for a longer duration of time, but things happened the way it did, and it's just sad. Like,
Mhm.
you can say that Rafa Benitez at Real Madrid was a failure, but what he's doing at Newcastle is
No,
he's
yeah,
building
I
an
feel
empire over
Rafa
there.
should have been given more time as
Yeah.
well. Like proven proven
Moreover,
coaches.
Rafa Benitez wasn't making his own decisions. Like, he was under the
I think he was under the influence of
press, actually.
yeah, actually,
Yeah, and he was like, okay, I have to play James Rodriguez.
No.
He was playing without any defensive midfielder. Like,
as far as I have to say, Benitez is a good manager as well.
he is.
Despite his antics with like other managers and all that, he is a good manager, and he should be given time. See, the point is, if you're not proven, you should be given time to show that you can prove,
Yeah.
right, and do your own thing. Unless, of course, you're wholly incompetent.
Yeah.
That happens sometimes. But if you're a proven coach, you should be given time as well. If you're into a new team,
Yeah.
for Van Gaal's case, I think, well, not really Moyes, if I'm being
Maybe you
honest.
should just give them a free hand and see how the team plays. And
Yeah.
if it works, even if you lose, you can get to know if it's working or not.
Correct.
Yeah, and maybe after a year, you know that, okay, maybe it is worthwhile waiting for this project to work, or maybe it's time to move on. So, yeah.
Speaking of moving on,
Yep, that's what that's what I was going to say. What are your Champions League final predictions?
I'm just happy it's an all English final. I'm excited, really. But my predictions is even with Tottenham's form, they currently don't have Kane, which is quite sad. It will have made for more exciting finals, if I'm being honest. Will Kane recover on time? I don't think so. I think he's until.
I
another
don't think
season
so,
now.
but I don't think they need Kane anymore because the way Moro played against Ajax.
Oh, that is true, but I think having Kane would have a certain more excitement to the finals. I feel, but with Mora in this form, maybe not so much needed.
Yeah.
As well. But I certainly am excited as a football fan. Well, I do feel with the way Liverpool are coming back on form with what they are, I have a feeling that Liverpool might win this. As much as I hate to admit it, but I'm okay with it. They won in 2005. They can get number 6 right now, and as long as they don't win the league, I'm okay with that.
I think Spurs have it, like Spurs will win it, because whichever team in the past 5, 6, 7 years, or when was the last time when Barcelona won the league, whichever team has gone to defeat Barcelona has lost the Champions League.
Yeah, fair point. But
But that's just an analogy,
which is just
just
correlation does not mean causation.
yeah. But also the another factor is that whichever team has beaten Bayern Munich has won Champions League. So yeah, it's both ways.
See, so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just excited for it. I do. On one hand, I don't want Liverpool to win. On the other hand, I mean, keeping a statistic like Spurs not having any trophies is fun as well, to make fun of Spurs fans. But
Yeah.
it will be exciting either way to see whichever team wins. But I do feel that with the way Liverpool have been playing, and I think coming off a high of beating Barcelona and making it, I have a feeling they'll win. I mean, look at Mane being in form and Wijnaldum pulling in a shift as well. They do have substantial depth to go ahead and win it. And with Van Dijk being Player of the Year, being such a brilliant defender, yeah, Spurs do have a big task ahead of them.
Yeah, but I guess Spurs will pull it off somehow. I don't know how, but
It'll be amazing to watch Spurs win as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
exactly. Yeah, like it was my kind of dream that either Ajax or Spurs should win it. Yeah, I'm happy for Spurs to be in the final, and especially for Pochettino, and even more so for Bielsa, who is not talked about much in the football world, but Marcelo Bielsa was or is a phenomenal coach, and Pochettino was his pupil, and now he's reached the final, and I'm just happy for him. And Pochettino will also coach Real Madrid in near future, and
Yeah, he probably would.
and you know that Pochettino said that if he wins the Champions League, he'll leave Spurs because there's nothing more to top that. Like, Yeah.
That is true. Well, winning the league would top it, I guess. But I mean,
But
it's
winning
up
the
to
Champions League is more prestigious, of
it's
course.
the Champions League. It's at the end of the day, I feel that Champions League, because it's still a cup tie in a sense. You don't really have to have a sort of,
Of course,
well, you
because
have to have the sort of stamina, but in the
as I
league,
said
in
that
the league sense, it's
yeah, in the league you can lose a game and lose 2 points or 3 points,
Mm.
but in Champions League you can lose the first leg, but you can still not be
Yeah,
hurt by
yeah.
it.
Yeah, there are pros and cons
Yeah,
to a
exactly.
cup compared to a league.
Of course.
Not saying I love
Which is better
Champions
than
League,
which,
yeah,
but
which
yeah.
is better than which. It's
Yep,
just
yep.
I was just saying when he says come off a high, I mean winning a league as well.
But for Spurs who haven't not won anything in their life,
yeah,
like,
look, yeah,
yeah.
for Spurs
Yeah.
not winning anything to winning the Champions League, I think
Yeah.
it would show something. But overall, it's I'll be really, really happy if Klopp would win a. Has he won a Champions League before? I don't think so.
Who?
Klopp, Jurgen Klopp. From memory, I don't
No,
think
no,
he
no.
has.
He's not won any. Like
He-
he's won none of the finals he's been in. Like
yeah, from
7 out
yeah.
of 7 finals he's lost every final.
Oof. But yeah, from memory, all I remember is I think he won Bundesliga with Dortmund once or
Yep.
twice.
He
And
won
that's
the
all he's won.
Bundesliga and maybe the
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
the another local
Polka.
cup or something like
Yeah,
I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I
but
can't
it
remember
was
exactly
something.
what he's won, but I'm pretty sure he's
He's
at
won
least
2 or
won
3
something
2 or 3 titles with
with
Dortmund.
with Bundesliga, but I'm definitely certain that I don't think he's won Champions League yet.
No,
No.
but he knocked out Real Madrid from Champions League in semi-finals and faced Bayern in the finals and then lost to Bayern.
Yeah. That finals I remember, it was
Yeah.
the all German
And
final.
then he
yeah.
lost to Sevilla, Unai Emery Sevilla in Europa League final
Yeah,
with
look.
Liverpool.
But yeah, look.
Then he lost to Real Madrid in Champions League final with Liverpool.
It's Klopp. But yeah, I'll be excited for Klopp to
Yeah.
win a Champions League if he does. And fair play to, and equally as much of Pochettino as well. Great season to be a football fan.
Yeah, it is. And for the EPL, I think Manchester City will win the Premier
I
League.
hope to God Manchester City win as a Man U fan. Honestly, I'm
Like-
just like just don't mess it up. Just beat, what's the next game? Brighton, I think.
Yeah, I guess.
Just beat Brighton, or honestly, Brighton. Just let them win, and let's just get it over and done with.
Yeah.
But it's football, and anything could happen.
And also Bundesliga is quite done because Bayern are like 3 or 4 points ahead of Dortmund and with only 1 or 2 games to go. So
Yeah, look,
that's also
it's
pretty much done.
I mean, it's been a bit boring in Bundesliga, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
With Bayern winning.
Yeah, but Dortmund bottled a lot of stuff. Like they
yeah,
were
that's true.
10 points ahead of Bayern
That
in
is-
November. Like
that is true, but Bayern, I mean, the narrative for I think Bundesliga and League One is just Bayern and PSG, and it's just
Italia has
it's gone-
Juventus.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit stale. I mean, then again, I think Juventus having Ronaldo has been has breathed a bit of life. Yeah, Juventus is still winning, but breathed
Yeah.
a bit of life into them the way
Yeah.
they're playing. You know what I mean?
But also it has brought more recognition to the league and to the team because earlier not many people were concerned by Juventus, but now because of Ronaldo, many fans have started watching that league.
Yeah, exactly.
And before we end, we should talk about Mino Riola's 3 months ban. It has been confirmed by FIFA as well. So he was banned for 3 months by Serie A, like the Italian Football Federation and stuff. And then that ban was also confirmed and accepted by FIFA. So he cannot do any activity till 31st of August, which is the last date of transfer in Premier League. So he currently manages players like Pogba and
Right. Yeah. Okay. Now it's coming to mind. I
Yeah.
thought for a moment, we were speaking about a player named Mino Riola, and I was just like,
no,
that's an agent.
The
And I was
agent,
just like,
yeah.
when did he get
He
a playing
was-
ban? Yeah.
No,
Sorry. Yeah.
agent.
No. It's coming to mind now.
It's
and,
kind of the first time ever that an agent has been banned because
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before.
I'm just stupid. Yeah. I mean, I really don't like from now. Now memory is serving me.
Yeah.
I actually never fancied him as an agent. I mean, he seems sleazy from the outset.
Yeah,
Apparently, he's really good friends with Pogba and Zlatan, so maybe not. I mean,
yeah, but he's never really liked by anyone. Like Alex Ferguson didn't like him, and other
yeah.
clubs and players, and a lot of people don't like him.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him, but I don't know
Yeah.
why Pogba and Zlatan are okay with him. It's just that I
He
feel
gets
that,
them hefty contracts, and what else
yeah,
do they
he
need?
secure them contracts. But outside of that, I feel that it goes to show that maybe there's something to it for him as an agent that he's being
Of course.
banned.
Of course.
Um,
So my point is that what happens to the Pogba deals and all those exit rumors and stuff? Like he's been banned. So what do they do? Like do they find another agent or do they wait for the
worldwide,
next transfer
the
window?
worldwide ban. I don't know.
Yeah. So
For me right now, even as a Man U supporter, Pogba has been showing a form of I don't know. I don't know how to put it.
he's
It's
been
just-
cold shouldering you, I guess.
real cold shouldering. I don't know. It's just. I feel that if you're playing for a club, it's sort of a wrong attitude. Whatever word you're gonna put onto his attitude, I just feel that it's wrong. The way you're not bigger than the club, basically.
Of course.
Always.
Of course.
Neymar and PSG. But yeah, that'll be weird. Hopefully, I mean, Pogba leaving or not, I couldn't care less. But yeah, I think it goes to show when a lot of the footballing world does not like a certain agent. I think it goes to show there's something sleazy behind it.
Something is, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel that I don't know. I don't think I ever liked him from the outset either, just from reading
Yeah.
the news. And
Moreover,
Yeah.
he's been like very, very rude. Like
yeah,
he will come out and say, okay, maybe I will have a very hard time to find Pogba a new club if Manchester United fans don't want him and stuff. And that's not the kind of attitude players or even fans or anyone would appreciate. Like
Yeah.
even the Bale's manager speaks a lot of shit about fans and clubs. He will come out and say that fans should kiss his feet and stuff. And we are like,
Yeah.
dude, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Look, it goes to. I mean,
Then
I'm not
even
sure whether it's a first of its kind.
even
Yeah,
Jorge
yeah.
Mendes, who manages, who is the agent of Cristiano Ronaldo and James and all those Portuguese guys, he came out and said that Luka Modric winning the Ballon d'Or is a robbery and all this stuff. And of course, many people don't like that kind of statements. Okay, you're defending your guy and you should do that, but without belittling the other.
Yeah, don't belittle
Belittle the
someone
club
else's
or the
achievement.
players. Yeah,
They-
exactly.
They have done something. So
Yeah.
like yeah,
you can say, okay, in my opinion, he deserved it, but he didn't, so it's okay. What we can do.
yeah, you can
Move
you
on.
you can I feel that you can say yeah, I don't like a certain player winning this, right? Like I can say I wouldn't like Liverpool winning the league, right? But you don't go and say Liverpool sucks because obviously it's not true.
Yeah, because they have worked hard for it, and if they win,
Exactly.
it will be deserved. But of course, we don't want them to win or stuff. That depends. But you cannot belittle their achievements
Yeah,
and
correct.
stuff.
Yeah. As in when a certain person makes a statement, let's say I make the statement, Liverpool sucks, right? That's because in that situation.
Yeah, but
I'm
you
not
as a
happy
Manchester
with-
United fan can say it. That makes more sense.
Yeah, but I'm
as
not-
an
I do
agent,
not-
you are not representing
Yeah,
any
you're not,
rivalry.
you're not really presenting any.
Rivalry,
as a
yeah.
as a Manchester United supporter, yeah, in that instance, but never in the point. I think never in the point have I belittled their history or the achievement of them getting
Five European Cups.
Yeah, 5 Europe. You don't do that. Even as a rival supporter,
Yeah.
I think that's the point I'm trying to drive across. Even as a rival supporter, I will say certain things. All right, but at the end of the day, it's just on the surface. I'm not belittling. Whereas
Yeah.
as an agent, regardless, okay, you can say a certain team is terrible or whatever. I feel that's still fine. But you don't don't be underhanded and don't
Yeah.
have low blows by belittling what they've achieved.
Yep, that is true. And also the titles and the legacy and all that stuff creates rivalry. Like you won't have rivalry with a club which hasn't won anything ever, or which isn't achieving good amount of. I know you are thinking about Spurs right now, but Spurs are still like into,
Spurs came to mind
Yeah,
instantly.
I know, but Spurs are still like into the Champions League finals and they are doing well. They are into top 4 and stuff.
Oh,
they
no,
are
yeah, that's
even in
the
the Premier
rivalry,
League
yeah,
title
yeah,
race.
yeah.
So that's what builds the rivalry.
Yeah.
But if they aren't into the conversation, how will there will be a rivalry? Like there is a rivalry between Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid in for the same city, but Leganes won't be in that debate. Why would Leganes be in that debate? Because they haven't won the league, they haven't been in Champions League finals, they aren't competing for top four or anything.
Yes,
Though they beat
just-
Real Madrid sometimes.
Yes. No, wait.
But
Sorry.
yeah.
Just suddenly coming to mind. Has Atletico won Champions League before?
It has been into the finals twice,
Yeah. Okay.
both
Just-
beaten by Real Madrid. Yeah,
Sorry, it just suddenly came to mind when you brought Real and
they have won the Europa
we're
League.
talking. Oh yeah, that one I remember.
Yeah, and La Liga.
Yeah. Okay. Correct. So yeah, because suddenly we're talking about Champions League, and I was just wondering.
Yeah, now. So I think that's pretty much it for today. And do you want to add anything? Any last comments?
Yeah. Just I'm excited for the finals, and it's a great season to be a football fan.
It is. And yeah, I suggest you to watch football. And even if you don't follow it, maybe just start following it right now because it's the best time to follow. And also keep listening to Futbol the Europa podcast and keep sending in your questions. We will answer them in every episode. So you can comment down on our posts or on videos and we'll just answer them. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you so much. See you next week. Adios.